I have to admit, I was more than a little skeptical when I first laid eyes on the Garmin MARQ Athlete. I've had my fair share of high-end sports watches over the years, and more often than not, they've either felt like overkill or failed to live up to their lofty promises. But when Garmin sent this one my way, I decided to give it a fair shot and see if it would truly live up to the hype. If you're interested in learning more about the product, the link is in the description, so be sure to check that out for the full rundown on Amazon. At first glance, the Garmin MARQ Athlete looks more like a watch you'd wear to a board meeting or a fancy dinner party than something you'd take on a grueling trail run. The domed sapphire lens catches the light like a gemstone, giving it a level of sophistication and elegance that's hard to ignore. And the titanium case? It's incredibly lightweight, which is a welcome surprise considering its larger size. In fact, it's even lighter than my old running watch, despite being bigger and more feature-rich. But as I dug deeper, I discovered that it's what's under the hood that really sets the MARQ Athlete apart from its competitors. One of the first things I noticed was the always-on display, which is crisp and clear even in direct sunlight. This might not seem like a big deal, but trust me, it's a game changer. I've lost count of how many times I've been on a run or hike and struggled to read my watch face because of the glare. The MARQ Athlete eliminates that problem entirely, making it easy to track my progress and stay on top of my goals. And the battery life? I've been blown away by how long it lasts, over a week on a single charge, even with the GPS and music streaming turned on. That's more than enough to get me through a week of intense training without needing to recharge. But what really drew me to the MARQ Athlete was its recovery time estimate feature. As an athlete, I've always struggled with knowing when to push myself and when to hold back. I've tried to gauge my recovery time based on how my legs felt, but it's always been a bit of a guessing game. The MARQ Athlete takes the guesswork out of it, providing me with a personalized estimate of how long I should rest before my next session. It's been a total game changer for my training. I've saved myself from overtraining more times than I can count, and I feel like I'm actually making progress towards my goals. And then there's the VO2 max tracking, which is another feature that's really impressed me. It's not just a number, it breaks down how my cardiovascular fitness is improving over time, giving me a more nuanced understanding of my progress. This is way more useful than just seeing you ran faster today or some other simplistic metric. I can actually see how my body is adapting to my training, and that's incredibly empowering. It's also given me a new level of insight into my own strengths and weaknesses, allowing me to tailor my training to my specific needs. I've also been loving the topographic maps with trendline routing, which have been a total lifesaver for my trail running adventures. I do a lot of running in unfamiliar areas, and having reliable maps that show the most popular routes is a huge advantage. No more getting lost or stuck on a dead-end path. I can just glance at my watch and know exactly where I am and where I'm going. Plus, the music streaming through Spotify works seamlessly, allowing me to leave my phone at home and still have my favorite playlist ready to go when I hit the trail. Another feature that surprised me with its usefulness is Garmin Pay. I didn't think I'd use it much, but it's actually really convenient to be able to pay for coffee or a post-run smoothie without pulling out my wallet. And the smart notifications, calls, texts, apps, are all clear and easy to read even in bright sunlight. It's nice to be able to stay connected without having to constantly check my phone. The build quality of the MARQ Athlete is also top-notch, with a luxurious leather strap and a titanium case that doesn't scratch easily. I've worn it in rain, mud, and even taken a quick dip in a lake, and it's handled everything without a hiccup. The only downside I've found is that the watch face is a bit large for smaller wrists, but that's more of a personal fit issue than a flaw in the design. Of course, the price tag is steep, there's no getting around that. In the end, I'm thoroughly impressed with the Garmin MARQ Athlete. It's a luxury sports watch that actually delivers on its promises, and I feel like it's been a valuable addition to my training arsenal. So if you're in the market for a high-end sports watch that can keep up with your active lifestyle, I'd definitely recommend giving the Garmin MARQ Athlete a look. You can find the link to the product below.